Nós somos o Claan, somos uma agência criativa sediada no Porto. Nós construímos produtos digitais à medida e de aplicação de comunicação aplicada. Nós vamos mostrar nesta apresentação alguns projetos, vamos também contar um pouco da nossa história até aqui e falar também das nossas motivações. Foi assim que começou.
Não foi a experiência mais agradável para mim, mas pronto. Vou continuar agora a apresentação em inglês, porque não sinto-me tão confortável em português. E pronto. This was the first project we did together. It was called Found in Translation. And we met first, the first time we met, we have been in Rotterdam. And I'm German-speaking and Clara is Portuguese-speaking. And so we noted that when we communicated with each other, we had some gaps of understanding. Because I translated from my mother tongue to English, and then Clara translated from English again to Portuguese. And so this project talks about these communication gaps or missing links.
Este projeto aborda questões linguísticas através do storytelling. Fez parte do projeto final de curso. O meu projeto final de curso é um conjunto de 6 posters 50-70, onde escolhemos 6 provérbios, 3 portugueses e 3 alemães, e traduzimos-los literalmente para inglês. Portanto, o significado perde-se em inglês, só quem está dentro do contexto linguístico é que entende a mensagem. Mau Maria, Bad Mary, Schlecht Maria. Eu sou a Clara Vieira, estudei Design de Comunicação nas Belas Artes e mais tarde Design da Imagem, mestrado em Design da Imagem. Aqui, comida de urso. Isto é uma expressão que se usa no Porto, eu não sei se se usa também aqui, que é levar uma coça. Bear's food, bear outside.
And this is the first German expression. It's called to hear the grass grow, das Gras wachsen hören, ou ouvir a relva crescer, acho que é assim. And it's interesting because the expression means that you have to be really silent because there's something bad happening or somebody is trying to catch you and you need to hide. And so when we chose this place, in the back there, it was a station, a ship station from Holland to America. Now it's a luxurious hotel. And in that time, around 1930s, 40s, a lot of Jews escaped the German Hitler Germany through this station. So it has some kind of connection with the image and to be really silent and to escape. I just forgot to present myself, so I do it in this slide. My name is Andreas Eberharter and I studied transmedia art in Vienna at the University of Applied Arts in Vienna. And now I'm here in Porto. This is the second slide, or the second phrase, Austrian phrase, which is called durch die Lappen gehen, or to walk through cloth. And again, this means like something, you're trying to catch somebody, but you couldn't, and so he slipped away. And we tried to illustrate it. And this is the last slide, the sixth phrase, and it's called to live on a big foot. So you live like above your possibilities, or you're really rich.
E a exposição na Faculdade de Arquitetura do Porto. Outra área que nos interessa bastante é a área da experimentação, da tecnologia, de como é que a tecnologia funciona, entender como é que funcionam as coisas. Aqui um estilo de um vídeo, de uma instalação em tempo real. Chama-se a máquina da percepção.
Yeah, and here what was interesting us is if you think about our perception, so in our eyes, in the back of our eyes, we have these sensors, and they're sensible to, so there are some sensors for red light, for blue light, and for green light. And then if you look at the light theory, again, in the light, you have the predominant colors of light, is red, green, and blue. And going then to all of these computer-generated images, the technique itself works the same. You have these phosphors, which are red, green, and blue. And so what we were searching here was to take these elements which create our perception and to try to separate them and to work with them. So we built this machine. It's really easy, it's really simple. In fact, it's everything analogic. It's a machine which contains in itself, so it's a circle. You have these 3 cameras, one camera for blue light, one for green, one for red. And they film this on the monitor, you see this white space, so they just film a white wall. And then these images are fed into the projector, and the projector is again projecting to that wall. So it becomes this feedback loop, constantly filming and projecting and filming and projecting. And I would just like to show a little video of what's happening when one films just a place. And here the questions were like, how do we see our environment? Like, how do we perceive reality? And what are these basic elements? And at the same time, we constantly have like our own filters. And so we manipulate our reality immediately when we create them in our minds. And a nice book about these theories, it's from Hans von Förster, if you're interested, which is called The Truth is the Invention of a Liar. And we will just see some images. And a bit ahead, you will see like white flashes. And this is, we just turned on the light quickly. And so you see when there are external sources just interfering in this machine, how it's reacting the whole system to it. This was one now. We started very early after studying. We started very early to work as freelancers. And in the next few slides, we would just like to show you some of our freelance projects.
Aqui uma foto-ilustração para a Hightech. A Hightech é a revista de inovação da Siemens, Áustria. O editor-chefe vem ter connosco com uma ideia, um conceito que quer trabalhar, um tema, e nós trabalhamos a ideia, aqui era sobre o aquecimento global. A Siemens tem as soluções para a maior parte destas problemáticas e a revista fala exatamente disso. E é muito interessante, este foi em 2007, foi nas Pedras do Corvo, ali no Porto. Aqui também, mais uma vez, a Siemens tem as soluções para a mobilidade verde. A construção das imagens passa não só pelo conceito, pelo desenho de conceito, e depois o texto é trabalhado vai surgindo em conjunto com a imagem. É um trabalho muito em cooperação com o editor-chefe. Fazemos a location scout, escolhemos os modelos, construímos o cenário. Às vezes é preciso esperar que esteja bom tempo. Nós escolhemos esta imagem aqui para a página dupla, para esta cover story, e depois propusemos ao cliente uma outra imagem para a capa. Não sei porque não escolheram esta. Às vezes acontecem-nos coisas assim, então optaram por esta. Mais tarde voltámos à faculdade onde nos conhecemos, a William de Kooning, em Roterdão, e quando chegámos lá a faculdade estava fechada e tinha esta inscrição, um clássico do Sr. William de Kooning, I have to change to stay the same. Então achámos que era a altura de dar o salto, demos o salto para o Porto e fundámos o Claan em 2008. Este aqui é um projeto recente de sinalética e wayfinding para o Parque de Ciência e Tecnologia da Universidade do Porto, ou o PTEC. E isto foi especificamente para o Centro de Inovação, que fica em frente à Faculdade de Engenharia. Aqui vamos mostrar algumas imagens da sinalética para os laboratórios. Usamos tipografia anamórfica e uma cor, um vermelho luminoso, para conseguir alguma espécie de bloqueio, de não permitir a entrada nos laboratórios, a entrada deliberada dos visitantes. Portanto, o visitante entra no edifício e vê, num ponto, vê a tipografia desta forma, e depois, ao longo do seu percurso no espaço, a tipografia vai se desconstruindo e passam a formas abstratas à medida que caminha. Por exemplo, o 5, que era direitinho ao fundo do corredor, tem cerca de 7 metros de comprimento. Aqui um esquema que explica o sistema. Há um sweet spot, o visitante entra por aqui, chega à interseção dos dois corredores e daquele ponto ele vê tudo na perfeição. À medida que se dirige para o espaço, a tipografia começa a tornar-se abstrata e a expandir-se pelas paredes. Usamos uma altura média de 1,65, está ali, e as letras têm cerca de 2,80 m de altura, são mesmo gigantes, e o vermelho é mesmo luminoso.
Now there are just some images how it was before. You can see it's a really wide, kind of sad space. It reminds a bit on a hospital. So we had this challenge to create some playfulness and into the space. And after all, it's about creativity and investigation. No? There are scientists inside there which come up with new ideas and which do really nice projects. So it should be a bit joyful as well, this place. And the next image is just something work in progress. Here is already the 3. We marked the area where we will paint it with tape. And then we had everything already prepared in InDesign and in Illustrator. But still in the place, then we were checking how the system fits together, like the arrows and if the sizes fit correctly. Before putting it really to the wall, we were just using projections to see how it works together. And the same here, like on the left side, one sees still in painting, and then on the right, the finished letters or numbers. And for the numbers itself, we used like a grid system, and we projected a grid, and we were painting it in the grid. And it was kind of a challenge because we tried several different methods from the beginning. First, we were designing everything in a 3D architecture program. We were doing all the distortion there and seeing how we should apply it. But this really didn't work out well. So then we were just making like forms out of paper with holes and put light. But the light was not parallel. So we had like different angles because the shadows were not correctly fitting the letters. Then we even came up with some Max MSP patch. I don't know if you know the software. So it's like interactive software. So we were projecting the grid, filming it immediately, and calculating which distortion it should be to project again. But it also didn't work out. So in the end, we just did really old school, simple lines, projected and painted it.
It was effective.
Yes, it was more effective. All the high tech we could imagine. We used around, this is the 4 and the 5, we used around 120 meters of tape to protect all the areas. And another image of...
And several hours.
Several hours of getting it right, yeah. Also several layers of color. That's another thing. Like, right from the beginning, we knew exactly which color we wanted. It was this really luminous, bright red to say, hey, stop, don't enter. And nor seen, also not hobby lac. Nobody was really manufacturing this color. We checked all the Spanish manufacturers as well, and nobody was producing it, so we had to ship it from Germany. There is a little company which produces this color, and so it was shipped from there. It was kind of...
E tivemos cerca de 5 semanas até a inauguração para pôr isto tudo direito. Aqui um exemplo de sinalética horizontal, também utilizamos.
Okay, now let's come to another subject which really interests us. It's about modern media content consumption. What you see here is an iPad, but this iPad stands for Android, iPhone, mobile and tablet devices. So all these devices which emerged recently. And the focus is not so much on the devices itself, but on the questions of instant consumption of content on the go and on mobile devices. And how traditional media is embracing these challenges and adapting to it. What we see here on the left is a normal magazine, and then how Wired was putting it to an iPad, for example. And here we see how they were bringing a navigation structure of articles into the digital space, and what's their take on solving this challenge. And also, it's really interesting. Now I'm taking content which is available in print, taking it to digital. It's presenting a completely new problems are arising also for the reader and for the designer.
Todos estes dispositivos móveis foram aparecendo e pouco se sabia da interação e da experiência de leitura e da experiência geral do utilizador. Esta aqui é uma análise dos Information Architects de 2010, mas ainda está muito válida. Ilustram momentos what now, falam de scrolling e de swiping. Existia e ainda existe muito neste artigo, eles fazem uma forte crítica à Wired. A Wired usa o Adobe Publishing Suite, que também é um programa que vem da Adobe, numa lógica muito print. Existia e ainda existe a mania de se querer aplicar os mesmos princípios da impressão ou do print ao iPad. E há uma tendência há efetivamente essa tendência para querer mimetizar o papel. A Wired começou por transpor literalmente o impresso no iPad, passá-lo literalmente para a app. O New York Times também fez a mesma coisa, não entendeu que a experiência de leitura e legibilidade é mais importante do que continuar com o seu estilo de jornal, da paginação. Provavelmente o medo deles era perder a identidade. Aqui chegaram a um exagero das 3 colunas, de 3 palavras por coluna, 3 a 5 palavras. E, efetivamente, se no print a fragmentação faz sentido, porque tem que haver uma economia do papel e a dissociar um caderno ao jornal tem um custo que pode andar nos 3 a 5% mais na aplicação, isso já não faz sentido. Aí eles investem em títulos maiores e colunas mais pequenas, aqui tudo muda. Houve um artigo também da Wired em que criticaram fortemente o Coy Vin, que é o diretor criativo do New York Times, e houve depois uma troca de comentários no Flickr, também é interessante de se ver.
The question comes now probably, why are we interested in publishing? And so just to give you a short history of what we have been doing since 2007, we have been working for Siemens, and with them we developed a prototype for the online magazine. Back then it was everything Flash-based still, really beautiful Flash animations and stuff. So what has been done back then was one took a basic PDF which was sent to the printer, and one just translated it one by one to the web. And so when we did this prototype for them, we just did an interactive ebook which was doing that. So, and one of our findings in that area was, or one of the findings which come till to the present is that if you switch the medium, like you go from print to web to mobile, you can't just present the content in the same way. So the content has to change, or the presentation and the consumption of the content will change. This system we developed further, and
e depois lançámos na Ilha da Páscoa o LIFR, para os Moais. A razão da visita à ilha foi termos participado no Startup Chile, que é um programa do governo chileno. Mudámos-nos meio ano para Santiago e tivemos a desenvolver a nossa plataforma mobile Deixamos esta lógica do web e do flash ali e passamos para uma lógica de mobile. Começámos a construir a nossa revista como ponto de partida, precisávamos de experimentar e queríamos construir um protótipo e já há bastante tempo também que queríamos ter a nossa própria revista.
Yeah, and in that area, like we have been beta testers of the Adobe Digital Publishing Suite, which is like a toolkit for print publishers to take printed magazines to digital. And like during this beta phase, we learned a lot with their errors. And our aim was also, or our aim is still, to create tools for designers to bring content to mobile devices. And we want to create these independent tools to escape the monopoly of Adobe in this way. And this is still work in progress, so we're still working on this. But we think we have our ideas are more appropriate than what Adobe is doing right now.
Sim, o problema principal é a arquitetura, são as ferramentas que estão disponíveis e é aí que tem que mudar muita coisa.
Sim. So now we just skip to a short video of our magazine.
I'm off. I'm off. I'm off. I'm off. I'm off. I'm off. I'm off.
O objetivo da I'm Off não é só servir como campo de estudo, de experimentação, mas também temos muito interesse na experiência dos conteúdos, na curadoria, e é um trabalho colaborativo, ainda está no número 0, não temos tido o tempo de dar o devido cuidado à I'm Off. Começamos por criar uma grelha, isto para falar um bocado do processo de trabalho, desenhar os 2 layouts que permitem depois a rotação dos dispositivos e vamos mostrar também um vídeo.
Here in this video you can see we opted for a vertical scrolling, and you swipe in between the articles. And in horizontal, you have all the thing horizontal. We completely removed all the user interface elements to not distract the reader from the content, which is the interesting on it. In the end, you can see user interface elements are, you can have videos inside as well.
Também fez parte do trabalho de investigação do MDI, do mestrado em design da imagem. Daí ter também um artigo sobre o QISP.
And user interfaces are shown with gestures, so like 2 fingers slide up the navigation bar. And in the contrary to Adobe, we treat each element differently. So you can make animations of images and text differently. For example, when you rotate, you will see that each element is animated by itself. In Adobe, it's like this, that you have like background images and they're just swept. So like this, we are much more flexible because it's really modular, the content, and how you can interact with this content then.
E aqui o user interface lá em cima.
While we have been in Chile, we met David Basulto. He's the co-founder of Arch Daily. Like it's the biggest architecture blog in the web. And he also was not really happy with the tools which are available right now. And so we showed him our prototype and what we are working on. And so this led that later on we started to develop for them their first iPad app. And it's available for free on the App Store. Would be interested if you have an iPad just to download it and to check it out. It's for free. And we did in this, it was the prototype was our own magazine, and this was the first commercial product we did for them, using already our tools. We got massive content from them, like a lot of interesting images and articles. And we did a specific layout for portrait and another one for horizontal. And we learned a lot throughout the process of designing it. And about the different problematics, for example, the technical problematic and then the process and also the visual problematic. And if you think these devices which appear right now, they're like computers some years ago. So they have really low memory and they have really low processing power. And so what you need to do to have really a smooth experience for the reader is you have to optimize really a lot the programming, which is, I don't know, it's not something really interesting maybe. And at the same time, you design like on a computer screen. So you have it in InDesign, for example, and you see how it will look like. And then you pass it to a different display. And suddenly the fonts look different, suddenly all the images are pixely. So especially the fonts, it took a lot of going back and forth to get the fonts right because of the density of the displays.
E depois também houve o Retina no meio do caminho.
Yeah, then there came the Retina display, so there were a lot of really nice surprises on the way. And that's one thing we are trying to achieve with building our own platform, is that we give designers and users a tool which is easy and which is affordable for them to create publications and content on these mobile devices in the way they would like to do it, and not how Adobe intends them to. I also take the opportunity to talk a bit about our team. So in the center of the image is Vincent van Dog. He's our mood manager and client relationship manager. Then on the right side, I'm Clara. She's responsible for all the creatives. I'm Andreas. I'm more the technical guy. Then we have Joel, iOS development. He is holding the iPad. And then George, he's graphic design. And Nuno, which is web development. We also have now an intern, Ruben, and he's also a graphic design intern. Yeah. What we are doing right now, and this is also really
que é o que aprendemos também com o Arcel e também antes com a IMOF, que é como optimizar o processo de trabalho, como criar efetivamente esta plataforma, quais são as problemáticas desse processo.
Yeah. And we have we have some research projects together with FEOP, where we try to optimize all of these processes. Okay, these are now 3 projects we do in our free time. So some things which are more fun, I would say. Just to quickly give you the context of this project. These are slides which are projected on the House of Industry organization in Vienna. So, and this place is called the Schwarzenbergplatz, which is like a central place directly in the center. And every time we walked by there, we found, what's this? How they can take public space themselves and just project something on it with their messages. For example, here it's "We are Europe." Then here we have "Industries, Innovation." So I thought lots of people pass by there all the time, and I think it was really immersive, how it's called?
Perversive.
Yeah, like taking profit of the public space. And in front of this projection, there's a big black tower. So one day I just climbed up this tower and found out the machine which is inside there, which is projecting. It's called Pani. It's like a projector, special type. So I did some investigation in the internet, and I found out there are these 18 per 18 centimeter slides. And then there's also some graphic of how you should project it. So I made up a plan that one day, like this projection always started to run at 4:30 in the afternoon, that one day I will go there in the morning and I will take out the slides and I will just swap them with other slides. So one day comes, I go there, take out the slides, have everything prepared, already the slides printed and everything to put in again. When I take out the slides, I see that they're not rectangular, so they have this distortion because the tower was a bit aside from where they projected. So it had to be in perspective that the projection looks straight. So I had like around 5 hours to produce new slides and to print them and to get them back in place again. So it was kind of a rush, but I managed. I'll just tell you, the upper row is the original slides, and the down row is the slides we changed. The first slide is called We Are Europe. The second is Industry is Innovation. The third is Industry is Employment. And the fourth is Industry is Wealth. And what we just did, we just swapped the background image. And so the background image has a completely different sense of what was there before. We put it back in place, and it was running on the place for over 2 weeks before they had, I don't know if they didn't recognize before, but then they were taking it out again. It's kind of a, we see this, or I see this more as modern graffiti. It's maybe digital graffiti, if you think about all the logic of graffiti, and now graffiti or pollution is more becoming light, and so this was some of our project in that direction.
Outro projeto que fizemos em casa no PTEC, no Polo das Indústrias Criativas, foi este. Houve um senhor eletricista, julgo eu, que deixou lá uma escada no hall por onde passamos todos os dias, nós e as outras empresas, e a escada ficou lá para ir durante 2 semanas. Até que nós achamos que a escada realmente deve ter ficado lá por alguma razão e demos-lhe um lugar de destaque. Então foi o Sr. Unknown, uma escada em 2012, mix media e as medidas da escada. O interessante foi que, passado pouco tempo, a escada foi comprada, não foi por nós, alguém foi lá e comprou a peça de arte. E assim começámos a criar o Museum of Pink Art. Nós estamos no Pink, que é o Polo das Indústrias Criativas, e até começámos a construir uma identidade para a coisa. Não vão aparecer mais obras interessantes, também houve lá uma instalação interessante. E, portanto, este foi mais um projeto. Outro foi o da Vending Machine. Quando nós mudámos lá para o Pink, no dia em que tínhamos que levar aquilo era um átrio muito bonito, amplo, aberto, no dia em que tínhamos que levar as mobílias maiores, meteram-nos lá este mamarracho desta máquina enorme, que é uma vending machine, ainda por cima fazia barulho, e não era minimamente estético para receber os clientes, entrarem por ali, terem logo a seguir à porta, ela estava logo do lado direito, uma peça enorme. E tentámos dizer à diretora do PTEC, à direção, explicar que não ficava muito bem, que era estranho e que ainda por cima a máquina criava um problema grave que tapava o sensor de luz, portanto à noite quando se usava o corredor não se conseguia acender a luz porque a máquina estava no caminho. A direção perguntou em tom de piada se a máquina nos atacava e nós achámos que sim. Então um dia a máquina foi apanhada em flagrante a atacar-me e mandámos este e-mail a toda a gente lá, aos nossos vizinhos e à direção do PTEC. Passado um mês a máquina continuou lá, então nós achamos que devíamos mandar um novo episódio a perguntar se é a máquina que é inocente, quem é que está inocente ali na história, e passados uns dias a máquina saiu de lá. Portanto, isto resultou mesmo. Obrigada. Este aqui foi um e-mail que mandamos, aqui está a nossa morada. Este foi um e-mail que mandamos aos nossos clientes quando mudámos da headquarters, quando mudámos lá para o Pink. Enviámos no dia 1 de Abril, portanto fizemos questão de dizer que não era uma piada. Estão aqui os nossos contactos, claan.com, também estamos no Facebook e o nosso Twitter, e agradecemos a vossa atenção.
Obrigado.